Hey, it's Red here. Today I'm going to be reading my favorite subreddit, r/Today I Effed Up. So get comfortable and let's get going. Today I effed up by not checking Amazon reviews. April 2020. 1 month into lockdown, it seemed like we were going to work from home for at least until the summer. I decided to invest in a good office chair with lumbar support. Chair arrives, I build it with Wi-Fi, and much to my dismay, the seat is angled forward, so it feels like you're sitting on the cliff Mufasa fell from. It was impossible to stay seated on the chair without sliding forward and curving your spine in a weird way. I figure it's shoddy manufacturing and incorporate a footstool to my setup so I don't fall from the chair. It's uncomfortable, but I make do with my creation and keep my pride intact. Fast forward to 9 months later and Wifey decides to get a chair of her own. She shows me the chair she picked out and claims it's much better than my Mufasa chair. Dejected, I pull up my past orders to see the reviews on my chair to see what went so wrong. Multiple comments on its fantastic lumbar support. It seems no one else is sliding off this chair. I'm confused. A light bulb flickers in my brain and I hold up a photo of the chair in the Amazon listing next to the real thing. Turns out the bottom base of the chair frame is reversed in the photo, which meant that I built the chair backwards in April and have been sitting in reverse chair for 9 months. Laughing uncontrollably, we reassemble the chair and take turns sitting. We now have 2 comfortable chairs. This is an example of pride almost causing a fall off the Mufasa chair. I'm sorry, that was such a bad joke. Okay, here's another lovely story. Today I effed up by not just drinking water and giving myself hemorrhoids. Some backstory. My wife and I have been living in an apartment for the last 2 years, and we finally decided to buy a house in a new development. With COVID putting a strain on supply lines, our closing date got pushed back nearly 2 months, and we ended up going month to month on our rent. We delayed giving our 30-day move-out notice until we had a solid closing date and ended up having the apartment for an extra 3 weeks. Plenty of time to clean, I suppose. Moving day came and we got everything out except for some cleaning supplies and tools and the contents of the fridge. We wanted to make sure we didn't have any delays before loading up the chilled stuff for a quick trip. One afternoon while my wife was at work, I was back at the apartment cleaning. I was about to wrap up when I got extremely thirsty. I didn't want to stop anywhere to grab a drink, so I looked in the fridge. All that was left was about 3 ounces of apple juice and a nearly full jug of prune juice, which we had used to ease our newborn's constipation. You can probably see where this is going. Being the genius that I am, I thought, there's no way prune juice would affect me, a nearly 200-pound adult, like it did for our 15-pound infant. So I grabbed the jug and head home. On the 30-minute drive, I drank roughly 16 ounces or 2 full servings of prune juice. So 16 ounces is close to 500 mils. I was pleasantly surprised with the taste. Shortly after I got home, I began working on dinner when suddenly I got the urge to use the restroom. I thought, okay, maybe that juice did get something moving. Not bad. I was so wrong. Over the course of the next 2 hours, I had about 15 jet stream fire hose, 100% liquid explosions into my porcelain throne. I could barely go 10 minutes without having to rush to the loo for another round. Thankfully, I was cooking chili, so it pretty much took care of itself, while the prune juice took care of me. Though, it no longer seemed appetizing at this point. I hope you're talking about the chili and not your jet stream fire hoses. The rest of the evening, my gut was making awful rumbling noises which caused my wife to think that an alien was going to burst out of my stomach. At this point, it was all just gas, thankfully. I also ended up with a bulging hemorrhoid for my troubles. Turns out that prunes contain sorbitol, which is a much more powerful laxative than I gave it credit for. Okie dokie, here's the next story. Today I effed up by teaching rhymes to my 4-year-old. My daughter and I sat down for breakfast. She wanted me to sing Twinkle, Twinkle, Little Star, so I did. She requested it again and again. I knew where this was going, so I changed up the lyrics. She was taken by surprise and laughed, and we started going back and forth rhyming words. Long story short, I ended up rhyming a word with fart, and she laughed and laughed. It's the most she'd laughed in a while. So I did it again, to even more laughter. So she tried and we both laughed. Now she thinks she has the ultimate key to comedy. She's been singing and telling jokes for the past 2 hours. The latest version is, "Twinkle, twinkle, little zebra, how I wonder, fart, fart, fart." The last joke went something like, "Why did the elephant drive a car?" "Because the cat farted and it smelled like a fart." I told her that joke stinks and she snorted. Her retort, "Because a fart came out of my mouth." To which I said, "Ew," and laughed, which only seems to have emboldened her to stand up routine. Okay, here's the next one. Today I effed up by accidentally sending a long text to family that shouldn't have seen it. I was sitting and having a venting session to my husband about a family member and how I was frustrated with them. I went into detail about certain situations and explaining the frustration I was feeling and how I didn't agree with specific things. While this is going on, I kept getting text messages to my Apple Watch. I take a look and it's a group chat between my 2 aunts and I. We're very close and they know about this family member and my frustrations, but not in detail. Well, this is the F up part. Unfortunately, I went back to speaking to my husband and somehow my worst nightmare occurs. Siri was dictating the entire conversation and sent it to my group chat. I got up from the table and went to charge my watch, and when this happened, I received 2 messages from my aunts asking, "What?" and what? But the problem was I couldn't see what they were asking about. I asked, "What are you guys asking about?" And this is when my heart dropped out of my bum. They screenshot a beginning of the message. They could only send me this much because it was so long. They had to scroll multiple times to even read the message. I didn't even know text messages could be this long. This message was very detailed and not very nice to say the least. I had to call to explain why I was speaking about these things, and it's all good now, but wow, my anxiety is so bad. And hopefully I'll be able to sleep tonight. I've learned not to trust my watch at this point. My aunts were very gracious and explained to me everyone vents, and I couldn't be more thankful for having such understanding aunts. Even though I'm mortified, it could be worse, and it could have sent it all to that person I was speaking about. Oh my god. I think a lot of people have this fear. I love r/today I effed up, especially when it's read by Red. That's me. Hopefully I didn't F up today's readings, so you can give the video a like. And don't forget to subscribe too, so you can hear me read some more tomorrow. Thanks so much for watching today, guys. Bye!